Luke 12:49 to 59. Really hard to understand these passages for me. I didn't understand what Jesus meant when he said he has come to cast fire upon the earth, and how he wished that it was already kindled. That part I don't understand. He said he have a baptism to undergo, like the baptism where he died for 3 days and then he raised up back up to life. So he considered that he used the word baptism, or the translator used the word baptism for that. And he is distressed. It feels like he is very, like, stressed, and like the hour has come. I feel like he's like on edge. um I don't know, maybe because I get on edge when I'm stressed out, like especially recently with my work. I was like, just like, people were being uncooperative, and it just stressed me out when I have all this work that I have to go through and people aren't making my life easier for it. And I have to work with, people who are difficult. Maybe they are stressed too. So it's like two stressed people talking to each other. But I don't know. However, that's what I felt. There's an edge here, and like God, Jesus is just distressed, and he's speaking out of a very stressed heart. And then, so it's interesting that he said he didn't come to provide peace on earth at that point. He will come, and he will be he is the Prince of Peace, and he will come to bring peace on earth when he defeats Satan. But at this time that he came, that wasn't the time to bring peace on earth. And that's why a lot of Jews, I think, that one of their biggest checklists for the Messiah is that there has to be peace. And so if they see that the Messiah can bring peace, then they can, they are more likely to follow him. But Jesus clearly state that he did not come to provide peace on earth, and so a lot of them reject him. And then, so it's like family, father against son, son against mother, against daughter, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law. And so, like, I think that is when I understand that by seeing how there are persecution, and some people, when they become Christian, their family estrange them, and even to a point of trying to kill them in the Muslim community. So there are cases like that happening, and in China too. And so I when I read this, I think of those cases. Maybe that's what Jesus meant. And I guess much more early, during Jesus' time, like, if a family is Jewish and then you follow Christianity, I think that's like a disgrace, and a really, they're not gonna take that lightly in their family. And so a lot of the Christians will have that kind of turmoil, family turmoil, when they give their life to Jesus. And then, so he talks about how they can see like the weather pattern and predict what's gonna have come next, like for the next day, the weather for the next day. But he is chastising them that they are not able to discern the time, that if they don't analyze the present time. And they have the prophets writing, and especially in Daniel, he actually outlined the timeline from when, I think the an invasion happened until when the Messiah comes. So they should have that, and it's like 70 some week, I believe. There is a timeline, and so they should have been able to calculate, but they didn't. And then he is asking us to judge ourselves, and that make an effort to settle with the accuser, so that he does not drag before the judge. I'm thinking the judge right here is God, and the accuser is Satan. But then what does he mean by settling with the accuser? I mean, we only rely on Jesus' blood to cleanse us of our sin. And so we're not supposed to settle anything with Satan, the accuser, right? Or I might be reading it wrong. I don't really understand what 57 to 59 says. I think that the idea is that if we don't put our trust in Jesus, then we will have to pay for our sins by ourselves, and we will have to pay up every last lepton of it, every bit of it. However, Jesus said this before he died and resurrected again. So what does he mean by like make an effort to settle with the accuser so that he does not drag you before the judge? Yeah, this 57 to 59 is beyond me.